Luna's Bassoon, written by Pineta. Fit the first, Canterlot. One evening, the day being done, Celestia lowered the sun. Not a moment too soon, Luna lifted the moon, to show that the night had begun. Then finding the castle so boring, she ventured outside exploring. She went for a trot round Canterlot, with ponies asleep and snoring. She roamed all the streets through the night, from moonrise until first dawn light, and beneath the stars, in nightclubs and bars, found company to her delight. Hearing the sound of a good tune, she entered a music saloon. Greeted with cheers, food, wine, and beers, she made many friends very soon. And so she found a new passion, live music of every fashion. Her zeal grew so big, she loved every gig, recital, and other attraction. She adored the jazz, soul, and blues, punk rock never failed to amuse, but found most magical, chamber and classical, of these she would ever infuse. As this new love came to augment, she yearned to play an instrument. I must learn how it's done, it will double the fun, and be cooler by 20%. Fit the second, the music shop. She followed his growing desire to a top instrument supplier. The shopkeeper was pleased as he eagerly seized the hoof of the prospective buyer. He cried, "It's just a delight to serve the princess of the night. It's perfectly clear that somewhere in here is the one that will suit you just right. This banjo will make you a star, as this would electric guitar. A simple cello, lovely and mellow, or would you like something bizarre?" But Luna dismissed every string. "They do have a lovely zing, but I never quite got how to tie a good knot. I'd hate the trouble that would bring." "If strings get you into a tangle, why not take up the triangle? For a sweet ding is the best thing, or I've bells you just love to jangle." "Leave the bells for Star Swirl and his hat, or to fix on the neck of a cat. It's a brilliant ding, but not quite my thing. Percussion's more Pinkie Pie's act." "Well, I'll bet you'll never regret tuning up flute or clarinet. A small piccolo, bassoon, or oboe? With some friends you could start a quartet. I feel it's the woodwind family that best fits your personality. Our list has been thinned to tubes breaking wind. Do please excuse the profanity." To show this, the oboe was blown, then Luna cried, "That's a great tone! But I won't make my call till I've tested them all. Then I'll pick the one I shall own." An hour passed until she was done testing the keys of each one. When the clock reached noon, she picked the bassoon, then smiled and said, "This is the one. Such a timbre, so warm and dark. With this beauty I shall embark. My muse is unfurled, I'll play to the world. The bassoon will now be my mark." Fit the third, the orchestra. She paid and left whistling a tune. The gossip then spread very soon. Friends stopping the chat passed on the new fact. "You know Luna can play the bassoon?" News spread from pony to pony to the conductor who only directed the best, among all the rest, at the Canterlot Symphony. "A pony who plays the bassoon? Sign her up and find her a room. We need this extra in our orchestra. Welcome the Princess of the Moon. We have flutes and horns aplenty. Violins come by the 20. But players of this kind are much harder to find. Our bassoonist seat is still empty." She went to visit at the soonest, as she was quite an opportunist. Luna was pleased and gladly agreed to be the symphony's bassoonist. She practiced her art diligently, by playing the night through intently. She went with the flow, she wasn't to know what this would cause, consequently. Fit the fourth, Moonshot. Celestia had retired to bed with a pack of ice on her head. To help ease the pain of a bad migraine, she rested beneath the bedspread. As she fell into cake-filled dreams, her headache became more extreme. As the bassoon tones vibrated her bones, she sat up and let out a scream. From the chamber beneath Luna's floor came a cry, "I can't take any more! Just let me sleep! You make me weep!" Celestia hammered on her door. Luna felt obliged to retort, "Oh, Tia, you bad spoil sport! Do not be so mean. I play for my team. The orchestra needs my support. Tia snarled at the bassoon trainee. You call that a sweet melody? That crass caterwaul is a banshee's call. It's worse than DJ Pone Free. Don't you dare insult friends of mine, you shallow witless Philistine. Your taste is vulgar. This is real culture. Great music is truly divine. Well, if you will act a buffoon, and will not put down the bassoon, a spell was cast, a starstruck blast. Luna was banished to the moon. Fit the fifth. Legal challenge. Celestia went back to bed, the pain dispersed from her head. She felt at ease, happy and pleased. By morning the news was widespread. The conductor's response was rage. A princess can do that in our age? 'Tis a black mark against our monarch. Who does she think she can upstage? Remaining ever the opportunist, she pleaded her case at the soonest. We have lots of flutes, horns, oboes, and lutes, but we can't do without our bassoonist. Celestia would not come around. She said, This cacophonous sound that Luna calls a tune is best played on the moon, so we don't hear a note on the ground. Musicians leapt to Luna's defense. We must make Celestia see sense. The law being thorny, they hired an attorney at quite a considerable expense. The lawyer tried to bargain a deal at the High Court of Appeal, but quite unexpected the case was rejected. For this sentence we cannot repeal. A law an alicorn transgresses is a matter for the princesses. We have no authority to rule against royalty. It must be judged by their highnesses. But Luna is the defendant. Celestia is not independent. She holds a grudge and will misjudge. We need a royal pretendant. Fit the sixth. Twilight's Verdict. We must all make haste and inquire if there's a princess we can hire. A pony set forth that day to the north to besiege the Crystal Empire. The crystal ponies gave a bow. Our princess is busy right now, and let there be no doubt, we do not hire her out to sort Canterlot household rows. The lawyer was one to persist. There is one more princess on the list. We'll get Twilight Sparkles. She'll fix this debacle and see that the case is dismissed. Of course, Princess Twilight then said. In pony law, I am well read. She arrived in town in a legal gown, with a horsehair wig on her head. She duly set up the trial, which went on for rather a while. She questioned each witness to the accused princess. Their answers were all put on file. It dragged on for over a week as each lawyer able to speak did much debating and pontificating with the #1 legal code geek. But once every box had been ticked, she rose to announce the verdict. She stood with pride. Guilty, she cried. Of treason, Luna, I convict. I have well considered her right, but must hold justice in clear sight. As we have heard here, the law is quite clear. Loud noises are banned in the night. This has been so clearly explained, there is nothing more to be gained. We all learnt at school it's the library rule, and discipline must be maintained. Fit the seventh. Musical Revolution. Outrage was the public reaction uniting each musical faction. We tried being nice. We're not asking twice. It's now time to try direct action. Arise, you musicians, comrades, to the streets, raise the barricades. Enough persecution, tear up the Constitution. Come join us and fight this crusade. We'll play a big street procession, a huge citywide jam session. Loud music we'll make to keep Sunbite awake and force her to make a concession. We're no princess's playthings, we'll see what revolution brings. Trumpets get set to blow, violins raise a bow. You have nothing to lose but your strings. All the musicians were united to see this injustice was righted. They played in the street with a powerful beat. Pinkie Pie came along uninvited. They amassed in Celestia's view. The princess looked down at the coup. Did she back down? Surrender her crown? Nope. She banished a lot of them too. Fit the eighth. Lunar Republic. The city was quiet and still, silenced at Celestia's will, all terribly sad as the princess had exiled every musical skill. While in lunar soil uncharted, a musical party had started. There was smiles and glee in the penal colony. Luna felt much less downhearted. For the moon was easy to bear, with all of her friends also there. They all took their chance, made music and dance, played and sang, au clair de la terre. There was first a short-lived despair, for sound can't be heard without air. But to fix this trouble, they magicked a bubble, and filled it with gas with great care. Luna crafted this crystalline state, where music could now propagate. It fulfilled their need, and each pony agreed, the acoustics were simply first-rate. Playing in the light of the earth, the rebels felt their full worth. With many a tune they lauded the moon at the Lunar Republic's birth. Canterlot was quiet instead. In the library, Twilight sat and read. While unhappiness grew, ponies had to make do. Celestia just stayed in bed. For a while, this quiet endured, but soon their release was secured. They would be called back to fight an attack as a new twist of fate occurred. Fit the 9th, the Restoration. The cute little critters had charm. At first no one thought they could harm. We kept them as pets, but soon had regrets, as parasprites caused great alarm. They had such a huge appetite, they gave every pony a fright. Somehow they ate 10 times their weight, devouring all cake in a bite. All those in the know gave a groan. They would return, we should have known. You know what this means, we need tambourines, accordions and a trombone. Cymbals and a tuba are required, a harmonica must be acquired. Does anyone know how to get a banjo, and where can maracas be hired? Then we'll need a band to play them to lure out these critters again. A wind band and other things, and a quartet of strings, or one pony who can play 10. Only musicians can save the day. Celestia, bring them back, we pray. Go to the moon, beg them real soon. Come home and help us right away. The message reached Luna and friends, who were happy to make amends. However, you know, we're not ready to go. We'll leave when the music ends. Of course, we wouldn't desert you. We couldn't let the sprites hurt you. Once we're done with our tune, we can all leave the moon at the end of this concerto. They marched in the city advancing. The parasprites found this entrancing. Down every street they followed the beat, moving with synchronized dancing. This led to great cheers all around, once they were all rid from the town. Hooray for Luna and Co! What a good show! Even Celestia knelt down. Sister, I see I was wrong this time. Your behavior was hardly a crime. It's clear your new toy gives you great joy, but please, don't play after bedtime. A new royal concord was drawn and agreed by each alicorn, with music from 7 to stop by 11, then all must be quiet till dawn. But of this Luna had not a care, for if her playing was judged unfair, she skipped back to the moon with her friends for a tune, where they played au clair de la terre. The end.